Vinay asking, is there any update on cornerback Cam Brown's status for spring ball? I didn't see him in any of the winter workout type videos. Whoever wants to take that on, and then we'll continue on from there and run through this secondary.
I can just say that I know that Cam played in 2 games, probably injured in the October 31 game. I think it was Penn State. Maybe he got hurt. I don't know. I think it was Achilles, wasn't it? And Achilles is usually 7 or 8 months. So that's 2 months in 2020 and 5 or 6 months in 2021, you would think. So I can't imagine there's any way he is practicing full go starting in mid-March. It was a true Achilles injury, and we've seen it's almost been described as miracle recoveries now for Hilliard, Borland, and Teague to get back in 7 or 8 months. Again, we don't know the extent of it. Is it the same injury those guys had? I don't know. But, it just seems unlikely. And really, there's no point to go out in the spring and risk aggravating an injury if it's not 100%. I know you want development, you want improvement in the secondary, but he's also got to be healthy to play in the fall, and that's the ultimate aim. So my guess is no, you will not see him in pads out there screwing around in the spring. He'll be over getting treatment and finishing off his rehab, I would think, on the sideline during the month of April, and would be back out there probably for the summer program in June, July, August, out there running around, and then probably even taking it easy first part of preseason camp until they know he is good to go on contact. So I think that's a one you bring back very slowly with the hope that maybe by the second, third week of the season, he's ready to fully be a contributor again in the secondary. And he's a guy, if he's healthy, he was seemingly as good as anybody else they had. So, John Wade notwithstanding, I guess. But Brown's a guy I think they're counting on to get him back in 2021.
Yeah, he would be their number 2 corner right now if he wasn't hurt. Maybe number 1, him and Sevyn Banks. And so you wonder how well he can recover from that, because you're better the year after you return than the year you return. And so he doesn't have a lot of time to waste. And you wonder, can he be that number 2 corner? And we won't know until he's practicing in August, basically. And how is that going to go? But I guess the good thing is you get a bunch of younger guys, more reps in the spring. But these are reps that Cameron Brown could also have used. And so, you'll get to see Ryan Watts and Legend Cavazos and, Cameron Martinez and Denzel Burke get some reps instead of Cameron Brown. But he's also a guy who played – I'm getting choked up about this. He played inside last year, but do they want him outside this year? And then, he was able to play outside in 2019 as a backup. But you would like to have him get that experience or get those reps outside if he is going to be the other outside corner this year. So it's just a really bad timing, never a good time for this injury. But to not then have a spring to get up to speed and figure out where you're going to be and how good you're going to be, it's bad for Ohio State, especially in the secondary that they have right now.
Yeah, not much that I can throw in there after Steve and Tony both really just kind of nailed every point there. The one thing I'll say is when it comes to coming off an injury like that, one that shuts you down for months and months and months, there's a mental aspect to it as well. And how quickly can you rehab yourself mentally and trust everything is going to work out or whatnot. And I think that that's always a big thing too when we're trying to predict success of somebody coming off of a very serious injury. So yeah, I don't see anything in the spring. I really don't think we see much in the summer. I think that best case scenario is to start bringing them back in the fall. But, a lot of chances to take mental reps and to really kind of just go over a lot of technique things that aren't going to require him being at a run or playing at a level of physicality until he needs to.
I remember in 2016, may have been spring or may have been fall, where Marshawn Lattimore was coming back from the hamstring injuries, the constant hamstring injuries, and Kerry Combs said every time he would cover a deep route, he would just hold his breath, like hoping that Marshawn Lattimore would be okay. And it took Lattimore a while to get over that. He did yoga and all of these different things to get himself right. But then there is that mental aspect of it where you just have to you do it enough to where you can trust yourself. And even then, Kerry Combs is pounding Red Bull and holding his breath. That's not healthy. I mean, that's two things that work against each other. But we saw how it worked out for Marshawn Lattimore, and he was outstanding that year, one of the best corners to ever play. And maybe I'm not saying that's going to happen with Cameron Brown, but he was one of the fastest guys on the team last year. So can he get back to that? How much is he affected by losing some of that speed, and how long does it take to get it back? Those are all questions that will surround him until he proves himself.
I believe Marshawn Lattimore is currently part of a pretty good trivia question for NFL fans, where Ohio State, I believe, is working on 4 consecutive NFL Defensive Rookies of the Year. Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Marshawn Lattimore, and Chase Young.
It's 4 or 5 years, right?
It was 4 or 5
years.
There was
they missed a year with Joey Bosa being a year prior. Yeah. 4 out of 5.
Some Buckeye got screwed that year. I'm sure.
Sure, it should have been somebody.
Kendall Sheffield or something.
Where is Kendall Sheffield?
Atlanta. He's actually starting here and there, and I think they're trying to stop that, but they haven't been able to yet.